My great-grandfather was a drum maker from Lissadan, Hillsborough. He made quite a few, but his drums were all one piece. We'd have been in the early teens. We always drummed. Because my father was given a drum. His grandfather made it way back in 1905. And he brought it down with the heads and all on. So we were only cubs, so we just blotted away about it. Once we got married, then the drums were put to one side. And then my late wife, she died with cancer. So I come down here. And instead of going out looking for a woman, I took up the drumming. You might be surprised, but I can use a Lambeg drum for something else. I have a hen inside and she's clacking on eggs. And they'll not be hatched out to the middle of this week. I have 2 sons over here. They're not interested in drums. One's a baker. He always keeps saying, oh, I would love to do this, but he doesn't really have time. So at the moment, I have nobody to pass the skill on to. So when I go, all my shriekers will go probably with me. This is English oak, because you can still see the bark on it, which means this is quarter cut plank. That plank will come probably 12 feet, 13 feet long, by 13 inches wide, by an inch thick. And I take that to the man. There's a friend of mine, he has a big bandsaw, and he'll split it that way there. Whenever the plank is split and he planes it down, it'll all match. Once you open it up together, it'll be like a mirror image, like opening up a book. So that the both sides, when you put them together, they'll all match. So what you do after you have your board machined and all, we call it scarfing, which means you're just going to taper it. This is 5 mil, so you're going to taper it down to about 2 mil. So whenever your boards come together, they have to fit like that there, and then put it on the rounder. So it's going to come round. Both sides will come round, and then I join them with a centre hook, and that forms the shape of the drum. You put the hot water on, it softens the grain, which leaves it easier bent. If you didn't put the hot water on, you'll end up with all wee hair cracks across it, and you don't want that. Then I take these off. If you push it down slow, you don't want to put too much pressure on. You don't want the grain to crack. It's a young man's game, this. You have to keep it on that there, because you don't want it ending up with a twist in it. You just have to be kind and careful with it. When this is steamed like this, I'll keep it in that grinder for about 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. Make sure that it's nice and round before you take it off. So you get at this stage, you could just destroy everything. Well, if you break it at this stage, it's just ruined. If there's a wee crack coming, you can always glue the crack. But if the board cracks right across, that's it sniggered. A lot of pressure on there because it's short. That's it. I just get great relief that that's already done. Next to polo mint. That's turned the shape of the drum. This drum here is going to end up, that's the exact measurement that drum's going to be, which is 112 3/4 inches. That's what I call it, a 3 foot small. And that's its scarf there. And that's the two scarves, one on that side, one on that side. So the two of them will be glued and cramped together. I keep the cramps on them only for about a couple of days, and then that's it when I'm finished. Later on, I have to scrape all that down, because if you feel that, that's rough. Because whenever you steam it, it lifts the grain up. So if you feel that, see the way it's all rough. So I go for that with a wood scraper. I'll take that all apart and glue it and cramp them, and I put 4 cramps across them that way there, and leave it till it dries. Well, this is what you'd call the centre hoop. And the centre hoop, it's made out of oak, and it's machined and steamed. Usually I would keep that centre hoop maybe a couple of weeks on the rounder to take its shape. You glue and cramp that centre hoop all the way around, and then you take the other half And then whenever I glue all that and put it together, I cramp them together with 3-foot sash cramps and leave it together for 3 or 4 days till the glue sets. Whenever that's dried, 5 or 6 weeks, you take it off, and that's the mouth hoop. So it's scarfed and steamed, and then putting on round her, and you take it out and you fit it into this and glue it. So that's the mouth hoop on that side. I have that nailed. Expensive them wee brass nails. So that's that bit done. That's the hoop there, that's already drilled. Once you drill it with electric drill, you leave the hole, it's a bit rough. So whenever you put the hot poker in, it seals it and leaves it nice and smooth for the rope to pull in and out. I'm going to drill this. These are the buffs. They call these buffs. You fit them on the drum, and I make these myself. They're made out of buffalo hide, which is it's a really good strong leather, and then I sew them with rawhide. That's the old way they would have done them, but now you can make them out of belting and rivet them. The riveting will hold better, but they look nice. The hair's off them and they're scraped. The only thing about them skins is that's where the kidneys are. You go along to the backbone, it's thicker. So what I'll have to do, I scrape that with a wood scraper to make sure that they're both the same thickness. And then put them into a bucket of water for about 2 to 3 days. Brush them out twice a day till you have them ending up just like a chamois. And then that's the time that you start put the flesh hoop on. Well, they have to be scarfed. They're not scarfed. I'll have to get them the right measurement and then scarf them the same as I do with that oak board. Put them in the steam pipe for about an hour, 20 minutes. Take them out and put them on a steel rounder. So I put the flesh hoop on top of that and then turn it up, put the glue around it and then turn it up and put a wee tack on it, turn it up all the way around it and put a wee brass tacks around it. Each head is fitted to each drum. You can't, somebody can't ring you and say, oh, can you make a pair of heads for 3-foot drum? You don't do it because you have to fit them to the drum that the man wants to buy. You see, whenever that drum's finished and I have her pulled up tight and she's singing, it feels good. I'm just a humble pensioner, but I just like working round drums. And if you have a Tony shell and good heads, skins, you're going to have a good drum. And if she doesn't sing, it's a bit of a disappointment to you. I like a drum with a bit of music in, that whenever you hit her, you can hear like a thunder rolling and rolling. That's what you want. Nice Tony drum.